Hello, welcome back to the Benefits of Bipolar video series. So today, as promised, I'm actually following through this time. I want to get into my diagnosis, kind of how that came about. Last one I kind of told you some of the more horror stories that came before my diagnosis. So the interesting part, and I guess comes with the definition of bipolar and why it might have been so obvious, is the circumstances under which I got diagnosed were actually around surrounding me really good in life. It was really warm. It was August. I mean, I was running. I was working out. I mean, everything was going pretty good. I remember my family was out at my sister's house with my nephews and everything, and I think I got a little jealous about that. And I know I was because, I'm 33 years old, or at the time I was 33 years old. Like I said, everything was going well in life. And I just got like exceedingly jealous that I couldn't go out there and be out there with my family. So what did I do? Well, at 33 years old and single, I decided it was a good idea to go out and buy a fucking bearded dragon. She's great. I love her to death, and I still have her. But if you want to talk about an impulse buy, let me introduce you to Aldo, my bearded dragon. so, anyways, but yeah, so even though everything is going well, even though all of that, I was hopelessly depressed, lonely, possibly had some suicidal ideations. It's really hard to remember when and where those came, but all I know is I remember just bawling, screaming at my dad getting on the highway that I couldn't do it anymore. Life was too hard. I was just miserable. I had sold more cars in the entire 3.5 years of selling cars. That was the most cars I ever sold in a month, I believe, was that month. I had so many reasons to be happy, to at least be content, at least be okay with what was going on day to day. And that just wasn't true. And not only was that not true, I was just in such a severe depression that I wanted to quit my job every single day, every single moment of every day. I wanted to run away. I wanted to get in my car and leave. I just wanted to give up. I wanted to quit. So I was kind of make the same statement, the same joke. My actual diagnosis came from really two forces that came together at one time: incredible luck and timing, and for some reason in that moment I was just ready to have any answers. I think because there was really no reason for me to feel that shitty, I was desperate for answers. I was willing to take any answer, anything that could help, anything that might lead me to actually enjoying life in some way. So I ended the lucky part is that I randomly set up for the first time in at least 10 years, basically just a checkup with my doctor, with my primary care physician as if I had one. I got a primary care physician, got lucky that I got this one, and he was super cool, super warm, made me feel comfortable from the get-go. So he's going through everything. How much do you drink? 5 days a week, a ton. I've covered this, but blacking out, whatever, drinking way too much. Do you smoke? No, but I smoke marijuana, yada yada. Totally normal stuff until, the drinking question, of course, and then the next one, which is how are you doing overall? And my answer was just terrible. I mean, I was honest with him. I told him I was just not doing well. I just laid out how I felt, what I had been doing, drinking, gambling, everything else. Go watch the last video in this so you think you're bipolar. But, and what he did is he slowed me down and he said, okay, I think it's possible that you might be living with bipolar. And I was taken aback, of course, but open to it because I knew something was wrong. And so eventually what he did is he asked me a list of questions. Do you ever cry? Do you ever cry uncontrollably and at random? Yes, all the time. Do you have problems sleeping at all or sleeping too much? Yes, it's either or. Do you have addiction or impulsivity problems? Yes, drinking and gambling to excess to no stop. Again, that's been covered. And just continue to go down the list. How do you feel on a daily basis? Is there some time you have too much energy that you just absolutely don't know what to do with and you go on shopping? Do you like to go on shopping sprees when you shouldn't, or do you spend too much money? just, you know, and those are just the ones that are popping in my head right now. Point being, my answer was basically yes to everything. So it was pretty obvious to him, but he is not a psychiatrist, or in my case, a psychiatrist, not me, my psychiatric APNP, who he ended up referring me to. So first of all, I got super lucky that he was my primary care doctor, that he took the time and the patience and really the care to slow down, to give me the opportunity to share what I was dealing with, to share what I was going through, and to see if he could help. So he did refer me to somebody. Now, another lucky part is that the lady he actually initially referred me to was unavailable. So I went to another lady in the office who I refer to as my angel, because I feel like she has saved my life and given me new life. So she was able to confirm his suspicions that I did have bipolar. She was able to narrow that down, that I live with bipolar II. And at the time, it was pretty severe. It really was. I mean, obviously, as you know, I've talked about the things that I've been through, the places I ended up, and it was obviously really bad at the time. So like I said, she was able to diagnose me with bipolar II, and get me started on a medication regimen. So that's really where I'm going to leave it today. Just kind of wanted to explain, what really was, I think, the most important part is that my life was actually going really well at the time. I just had no way of understanding and comprehending that, because my brain was telling me everything was absolutely horrible and had to either end or move on or do something completely drastic to make a change. So just keep that in mind. If there doesn't seem to be a reason for somebody to just be feeling the way that they are, maybe slow down. But especially just keep that in mind. I'm just mumbling and rambling now. So thank you so much. It is World Bipolar Awareness Day tomorrow. That's why I'm doing all of this. I will try and be back tomorrow with the post-diagnosis and how I've gotten really to where I am today, where I actually feel stable enough to not completely feel like an idiot, not completely out here like I don't know what I'm talking about, and how to live successfully with bipolar II. So thank you again, as always. Like and subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. It does mean a lot, and have a great day. Thank you so much.